Hello, everybody. It's been a while. I think I didn't post any video this last Wednesday, but today is Sunday and I'm going to be posting one today. I hope everybody's Sunday is going great. Uh, I wish everybody a blessed day and a blessed week to come. Uh, if you're at all interested in gardening right now, because my topic for the pretty much the whole month will be gardening using the Victory Garden concept with a lot of Amish tips mixed in. It's a great time of the month. April is a time to prepare your soil. It's a time to get ready for spring to get warmer. Here it's still a little chilly in Nebraska, but other East Coast locations, you can go ahead and start planting your plants outside because the frost date, what I believe was March 15th, but here our frost date is May 15th. So we're a little bit behind the East Coast. Now, today we're going to be talking about gardening, as I said. But before I get into that, I want to welcome everybody that is viewing my channel. I am Grandpa, and this is Grandpa's YouTube channel. I call it Coffee Time with Grandpa, where we talk about anything really, except maybe politics. I like to stay away from politics. It's not a very good subject to get into these days, so I stay away from that. But if you're at all interested in how to live a simple life, how to learn more about being a pagan, which I am, and how to learn how to grow a victory garden and how to raise your own foods and how to lower your bills, how to live within your means and your budget, how senior citizens can stay healthy, and the subject matter goes on and on. I talk about a lot of things, but mostly related to senior citizens, but a lot of these principles that I mention through my wisdom, younger people can learn a lot too. So my channel is open to everyone. If you're young in heart, young in nature, if you're just starting out, or if you're middle aged, or if you're in your old age, your senior citizen years, my channel is for everybody. Today, we're going to be talking about the benefits of starting your own victory garden, which was a concept that was developed during World War I. A lot of people think it's World War II, but no, there were victory gardens in World War I. It was during hard times because most of you don't remember World War I, or for that matter, World War II, because World War II was 80 years ago, and World War I was 90 years ago. So it's just one of those times in history that tells everybody to start growing their own vegetables in a victory garden. They called it a victory garden because during these wars, a lot of foods were rationed, especially a lot of healthy foods. You couldn't really go out to the grocery store and get everything you needed because everything was rationed. Coffee was rationed, sugar was rationed, uh, milk was rationed, bread was rationed, cheese was rationed, anything that was good for you was rationed. So people started producing their own food at home in various ways and various techniques they used. They churned their own butter. Was a churn. A churn would be a glass enclosure where you put whole milk in, and you had a spinning paddle in the inside, and you turned it around and kept it up for an hour or two, and you would develop, butter. You would siphon the butter off, and you'd have buttermilk after that. You put it in the refrigerator and keep it chilled, and people drank it as buttermilk or made buttermilk biscuits by using flour and buttermilk and a little bit of salt. Now, the concept of a victory garden, as I said, started to develop at that time. Uh, so people became less reliant on spending money they didn't have in the grocery store or at the hardware store or whatever store you were in. You would save money that way by doing it at home, finding a way to produce that item of food at home by canning, by smoking your meats in the smokehouse, smoking your fish, making sauerkraut in big barrels, fermenting your foods a lot in glass mason jars. There was a way of preserving and increasing your pantry in hard times so your family would be well fed and inflation wouldn't be a problem, or not having enough money wouldn't be a problem, because you had your garden, you had your victory garden where you could grow your tomatoes, your green beans, your cucumbers, your squashes, your pumpkins, and the list goes on and on. The first very step that you most likely would have taken was created a small plot. If you had a house and you had a plot in the backyard where before it was just grass, you turned it into a garden, a victory garden, working up the soil, creating bins to plant your vegetables and your lettuces and your tomatoes in, uh, improving the soil, using watering system of some kind. Now here in Nebraska, we irrigate our gardens because we do not get a lot of rain, and what little rain we get usually just ends up evaporating and doing the garden no good. So you really have to create a gardening irrigation system. And I'm not talking about a sprinkler system, okay? Because a sprinkler was invented to water your grass. It wasn't invented to be in the garden. You need a drip system of some kind where you put in water along a tube with little holes in it to where it would drip out very slowly, and not so the plants could always have access to water at a slow drip rate. And this is what I have done in my garden, except I use big 1.5 gallon water jugs. I put one little hole in at the top of it, keep the cap on, and then I dig the hole in the garden where I want the water to saturate the soil, and I would flip it over, put it down in, and firmly secure it about 6 inches into the ground. And on top, where was the bottom of the gallon jug, I would drill a hole where I can take a hose and stick it in there and fill it up with water. And that way I would have a slow irrigation system. It's totally free. You didn't have to waste any money on expensive irrigation systems that a lot of people put in. Yeah, it's a great way to keep your plants watered, and it doesn't cost anything. And I've had that on my video a couple of weeks ago. I showed everybody my system, and I'm going to go back again and film another one in the garden because I'm getting ready here in May to put out my plants. And when I put out my plants, I'm going to show you how my irrigation system works. Make sure the soil is improved by adding compost, manure, nitrogen based compost. It's great. Do not buy expensive fertilizer, okay? Because those are chemicals and you don't want those in your garden. You want natural nitrogen that comes from food scraps, from your, every time you cook something and you have a lot of food scraps left over, start saving them in a bucket. And then when the bucket is full, add them to your compost pile. And over time, they will break down and create a great soil for you to always work in your garden. It's a constant process. You never stop composting to enrich your soil. The watering system is important. Make sure you get some kind of watering system. And know the difference between your garden where there's shade, full sun, or partial shade, because each plant has a different level of sunlight they can tolerate. For instance, tomatoes, they're full sun. but you want your lettuce in the shade. You want your spinach in the shade. So you definitely need to read those seed packets and see what the recommendations are for that plant. It's so important. And then if you have any this fall or this summer and fall, if you have excess cucumbers or excess tomatoes or excess squash or excess this, that, or whatever, uh, you can go ahead and sell that excess by creating a little for sale sign outside your home and tell them that you have tomatoes for sale, and put a table out and package it really nicely so it looks nice. And somebody's going to stop by that did not prepare for a garden and see these tomatoes, and they're going to buy them from you, and you're going to make a little extra money. This is a great side hustle. Plant extra plants in your garden in the spring so you can have enough excess to have a side hustle. It's a great idea because the way inflation is nowadays and the prices of produce, oh my goodness, have you been to the store lately? Price of produce is just out of this world. And this is one way you can benefit by selling off your excess produce to make a little money extra so you can buy your seeds for next year. Now, always remember the first part of April, which is already started. I think today is the 5th or 6th of April, and it's a great time to do your peppers, but grow them inside. Plant your seeds for peppers and tomatoes inside, so you can have them ready in 4 to 6 weeks to go outside. So when May 15th runs around, which is my frost-free date, I can put my plants out. I have tomato plants growing already that are, oh my goodness, some of them are already 6-7 inches high. And by another 4 weeks, they're going to be ready to go outside. I can believe that. Now, make sure you always like and share my channel with your neighbors and friends. Subscribe to my channel so you can get always the updates, and the algorithm can recognize you and send more videos to you so you can enjoy. I have a big library of videos to watch. You can spend days watching my videos. I try to increase my long form videos. I haven't been doing so good. I usually post one a week, but I want to get to a period of time where I can post them once, twice, maybe even 3 times a week to increase my audience. Subscribe to my channel, and you will learn Grandpa, his gardening techniques, what he uses, and all the pagan ways that I have learned over the years to grow a great victory garden. I am so glad you have found me. I'm so glad that you have showed interest in my channel by leaving comments, and I appreciate it so much. I love you all, and I will close until maybe next Wednesday. I'm going to try to post another one next Wednesday, long form video about my progress in my garden. See you, and guess what? It's that time of the part of my video where I say, see you next time. Love you. Bye-bye.